Yes, 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 yes. Good evening. What's going on? Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I am your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Got a fantastic show with a very interesting guest. I'm so excited about this show because we all have goals. I'm in the entertainment field, and I have a lot of goals on trying to do things. I'm a writer, producer, but this my guest tonight is way beyond, and someone that I can look up to and admire because she's done so much in the industry and still doing great things, and it's a blessing to have her on the show. But before we get into that, I want to say welcome to everybody out there. Hey, Stacy Smith, how you doing? Smoke is here, producer extraordinaire. Denise Giorgio Cooney, production manager, is here, and want you guys to share this right now as we begin. If you're out there, you hear my voice, just share this page and share it to your friends because you're not going to want to miss this one. I guarantee you. This is going to be very informative, very fun. I'm doing this thing for the ladies. I like to have powerful ladies on the show. So I believe she's a powerful lady because she's doing things, and I respect that so much. D-Ro, how you doing? So I hope you've had a wonderful day. And so sit back for the hour as I captain you, and we have a fun time. My guest tonight, it's 2 minutes into the show, and I always at the 2 minute mark, I gotta just go into this resume, and I tried to remember so much, but she has so much going on. First of all, she's about a 16-year veteran. She's a writer, she's a producer, she's an executive producer, and a content creator. That says a lot right there. But let me tell you some of the networks she's worked for or worked with: ABC, NBC, Fox, A&E, E, VH1, MTV, TV Land, the Food Network. I could keep going, but you get the picture. You get the picture. Listen. Some of you guys have probably watched a lot of shows that she's had a part of or had something to do with, like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Flirty Dancing, which is a new one. Dancing with the Stars, we all know that one. Also, Secret Millionaire. But one of the ones that's new on Fox is called I Can See Your Voice. Listen, I could go on all day, but there's really no need for me to just go into this bio when I have the real person right here sitting in the green room. So let's bring her out and welcome to the show, Melinda Cea. There you go. Hello.
Hey. Hi, Shawn. Thank you so much for
Oh,
having me. Wow, what an introduction.
just thank you for having that introduction. That was special. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you so much for taking time to sit down with me tonight and my crew out here. The first thing first, you're on the West Coast, and I'm kind of jealous. Uh,
Yep.
I love New York City. It's my home, birthplace, but it's a little cold over here. We got a little snow and all that. Now, what's the temperature? What's the weather out there
Today it was 80 degrees where I am.
now?
I know. I almost didn't want to tell you because I know you're freezing there. But it was so cold. Or not. It was so hot here, but I know it was so cold there. So yeah. I'm in
Yeah.
short sleeves right now.
Well, a little birdie told me that you're used to this weather over here
I am
because
used to it.
you're not originally from the West Coast. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from California,
You're
born and
really from
raised.
there, but you
Yep.
spent some time over here.
Yeah, I lived in New York for a few years and loved it. And I remember my first snowstorm there. I was so excited to put on the sleeping bag. I used to call it. You guys walk around in a sleeping bag jacket
Yeah.
that zips up from your toes to your eyeballs, and I was so excited. But yeah, no, I love it. So I don't know. I think it's the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to me too, because it's seasonal. It's not like it lasts forever. It comes in,
Yeah,
it goes, and this is like really the first snow that we've had. Whenever people watch this show, they'll be like, "Well, what is he talking about?" Well, you just got to know what I'm doing taping the show now. It's a
right.
snowy, but it's all wonderful. So that's great though. You're out there on the West Coast, and you're out there doing things. That's what's so good. I love your bio.
Oh, thank you. I love your show. I
Well,
love you. I love your movie. I'm like in awe that you made that movie. It's a huge accomplishment to get that done.
thank you, thank you. And we spoke right before we put the movie out, and you gave me some
Yeah.
wonderful, some wonderful knowledge that I really appreciate, and I thank you so much for you letting me pick your brain and the
Sure.
support that you gave, because that's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate that. But let's jump into when you started doing, because you've done so much. When did
Yeah.
you actually get into the industry, and what made you get into the industry on the level that you're at right now?
Um, that's a good question. I think I had always been interested in entertainment. My grandpa was a singer, and I was always fascinated by just the lights, the cameras, what everything is, and how it works, and the fact that you could sit down and watch something that you're making right here on your TV screen, and everybody at home could see it. I thought it was just the coolest thing ever, and I never understood how that actually worked. But yeah, so I went to school, I went to college and got a degree in television and a minor in broadcast journalism. And I thought I was going to be in news. So I
Right.
went to every news station in LA and was like, can I be your internship? And I remember like I got an internship at Good Day LA and KTLA, and I thought it was the best thing ever. Then I found out at the time how much you made in news.
Mm.
And I asked one of the anchors, I said, okay, realistically here, like, what am I going to have to do to make some money in this business? And he was like, don't be in news.
So you thought it was all hot and everything, like the news is it, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I want to be Diane Sawyer.
right.
I want to be Oprah.
So
And
what was the first thing you did after when you were told that, and now you got to move into another direction? What was the first thing you tackled?
So I got an internship actually at E Entertainment at the time, was like this new coming up network that all these cool reality shows were on. And I got an internship there, and then that turned into a job and then several other jobs. But my first really big show was for E Entertainment, and it was called Wild On with Tara Reid. And we traveled all around the world with Tara as she partied in the hottest clubs and with, some of the most famous people around. And it was a wild time for me, especially being so young. I didn't know what hit me because I'm from a small town, so all of a sudden I was like partying with Tara Reid and Paris Hilton and drinking and like trying to do my job at the same time.
Right.
And it was crazy.
But okay, so you were doing that you were new to it. You got thrown into it. You were making money, obviously. Because now, as I read over the stuff that I was given, like you've got over 50 TV credits, and you've got over 200 episodes produced. So something in those beginnings really kind of bit you, and you're like, okay, I want to do it, especially the reality show stuff, because you stayed with that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know what? For me, it was really an adrenaline rush to be on set, to be with the crew and making these really cool decisions about stories that we were telling and the people we were telling them about and the people we were telling them for. It was just something new every single day. That's the one thing I can tell you about reality television. And I think all entertainment in general is it never gets boring. There's always something new. It's definitely not your 9 to 5.
Right. So you have the title executive producer and content creator. Can you tell the people out there that may not be familiar with those titles what you're responsible for as an executive producer and or content creator?
Yeah. So as an executive producer, you're, in charge of that entire project. So that entire show, whatever it is, budget, creative, the team, the morale, the way the entire operation functions is up to you. So for me, it took a really long time to get that title. And the first time I got it actually was on a show that I sold that was my own show called Wild Food. And I was like, oh my God, I could do it. And then when I got there, I was like, Like there's a reason why you have to put in your time, they say, in the hours, because it's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
Because, maybe 50% of the job is politics and managing people's, experience working on that show.
Right.
Together and how you execute as a team, and then the other half is the actual show.
Yeah. So you did their first show, obviously that led to other shows.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of, like, I'm trying to go in order, if you can remember what went in order to
Yeah.
like the bigger things that you did.
Right.
What was the next big project after doing that project?
So after doing, well, if I back up, so after doing the stuff with I
Hmm.
think one of the biggest things that I did was the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise, and I was with them for I think 9 or 10 seasons,
Okay.
which I'm sure you heard of the show. It's a huge show. It's
Yes.
still the #1 reality show,
Right.
dating show, and that was amazing. That completely changed the way I produced, and it actually taught me how to produce. It taught me how to ask questions in interviews, and it took me all around the world. So I'm super grateful for that
Right.
job.
So you said that was something you did. You're not associated with the show
No, I
anymore.
don't produce the
You,
show anymore.
you
No.
don't. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
because again, you're mingling with people, you're mingling with these celebrities, and not to be like starstruck. And after a while, like, let me ask that question: who did you work with that you were really starstruck? That you had a little, kind of little thing working. It was hard for you to work with.
Um, oh God, that's a good one. I think the one that really got me was the Dalai Lama, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
read a few
don't think I
interviews.
slept at all the night before.
Mm,
And as a producer, you're going over in your head like the questions you want to ask and where you want the interview to go and all this stuff. And I was just like, what am I going to say? Oh my God, what do you ask the Dalai Lama?
right. So
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so yeah, so that one, I don't think I slept all
You
night.
you did quite a few interviews.
Yeah, I have.
From my understanding, you interviewed William Shatner,
Yeah,
Terry Bradshaw,
yeah,
Sir Elton John.
uh-huh.
Now, I Terry Bradshaw's a character. I see him every Sunday on the Fox Football Sunday now, and
Right.
William Shatner's a character as well. He
Yeah.
wasn't when I see him on The Fresh Prince. It was totally different from Captain Kirk. What was it like sitting down with him?
Terry Bradshaw, well, okay, so I'll tell you, Terry Bradshaw first
Yeah,
is the coolest person ever. So sweet, um, easygoing, really just a down home kind of guy. William Shatner, I was actually like, wow, I can't believe we're filming with William Shatner. This is crazy,
right.
Is this really happening? But we were filming with him for Better Late Than Never, which
Okay.
was with Terry, William Shatner, George Foreman,
Hmm.
Jeff Dye, who's a comedian. You might know him.
Yes.
But yeah, so William was very relaxed and also easygoing. I mean, all the guys on that show, Henry Winkler, they are such pros.
Oh, the Fonz.
Yeah, the Fonz, right. So it's like when you walked into a room with them, even though you were nervous, it was kind of, just they were really good, I think, at calming us,
Hmm.
and just making it kind of like a family experience.
Now, got to ask this question.
Yeah.
You're a woman. You're a
Yeah.
lady in the industry.
Right.
Hollywood eats up people and spits them out, and sometimes it does some people good.
Yeah.
What was it like for you with your experiences? Because you always hear stories
Right.
about things. What was it like for you trying to get yourself to where you are? Did you have those pitfalls? Did you have to battle the male egos and all that stuff going on?
Yeah, that's real. That is 100% real, and it still goes on today. Um, it's tough, and I think it's something that as a woman, when you're in this business, you're forever bonded to other women because nobody knows what it's like except another woman.
Right.
But all the stories that you hear of being the only woman in a boardroom with 24 men, or when you get to the top, you're the only woman. That is very true.
All right.
And you have to have a loud voice. But if you have a loud voice, you're too aggressive.
Right.
So it's doing that balance of, I'm here for a reason. I deserve to be here. I earned my seat at the table, if you will. And I deserve to be respected for that. And so I think a lot of times you are proving yourself, and it's unfortunate that it's still that way.
Mm-hmm.
But but it is. And I think the only way to get through it as a woman, and my advice to any other woman who's dealing with that, is to really just own your success and who you are and your talent, and know that you deserve to be there.
Right.
Right. But you know, that also being said too, there's a lot of amazing men in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best friends are men, and they work in this business, and it's not all like that, you know. But it's real, and it's when you're put in that position for the first time, it shocks you to your core.
Yeah. And see, that's good advice. And that's as we go through this interview, this conversation, please feel free to just drop some jewels on folks, because there are people out there listening who see it only from the outside, and they might get discouraged because of the stories that you see, which are true. I mean, it doesn't just happen in Hollywood. It happens at the UPS. You know what I'm saying? It happens because of whatever. But when I hear this, I just hear James Brown. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, your place. You have to know your place, know your worth, and don't let anybody discourage you from that or take that away from you. Because there are bad guys and good guys, though.
Absolutely. And there are bad women and good women.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, it goes both ways. I've worked with a lot of women too that are very tough to work with. You know, and it's the same thing, but the dynamic, I think, between men and women for the most part now is getting much better. But you know, every now and then you walk into a room still, or I will, as the only woman, and you know, it still shocks you.
Right. Now, when we met last year, you were working on a show. I believe it was a Fox show. It was a Fox show. Was it the Flirty Dancing show?
It was Flirty Dancing, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Tell us about what Flirty Dancing was.
Okay. So the thing that I love, right? And that's why a lot of the shows I made were always about love and dating and all this stuff. But this show was so special. I think just any of the producers or the crew, we all felt it. And it was just a fun environment. It was a fun experience. It was 100% real. And I'm telling you, as a reality producer, the shows are, you know,
I hope people understand that by now, that reality shows are kind of not
right. They're scripted or semi-scripted, if you want to say. But reality producers are really scripted producers. That is the thing. But so Flirty Dancing was such an exciting show because it was a dating show, a dance dating show, where we matched up a guy and a girl who would see each other for the first time when they danced a routine together. Both learned the routine separately, and they would turn around and we would be at some exotic or a beautiful location in downtown or at a ranch or somewhere in LA. They would turn around and see each other for the first time and then do this like whimsical, magical routine. And all of us, like the most memorable episode ever was at the Wiltern in downtown Los Angeles. And the couple was dancing to the famous song from, oh my God, what is the song from the movie that came out last year? Come on, Shawn, I know you could do this. I got it on my phone.
It's stopping me now. Like, come on.
Anyway, I'll remember it. But we'll come back. Turned around and they were just the most amazing couple, beautiful people, danced to the most romantic song ever. And we're all in the control room, right? Like holding our breath. Oh my God, are they going to mess up? And then at the end, they kissed.
Oh, wow.
It was, I mean, we were screaming. We ruined the entire shot. We ruined the audio because all of us were screaming behind the scenes.
Right.
But those are like the moments in reality TV that are awesome, and they're far and few sometimes, but it was really magical.
Okay, so tell me, that sounds cool. You know, tell me which show, because I'm sure they're your babies. You know, you worked on a lot of them. Which one did you really have the most fun? Because it was just, you know what I'm saying, the one that got out here on television to the folks, people connected with it. Which was like your most favorite show? It's kind of like asking you what your favorite child is,
right?
But, you know, be easy with your other shows.
I love them all, but I would have to say my favorite show is probably Operation Change.
Okay,
Hands
what was that about?
So that was a show that followed a philanthropic family called, well, they're not called, but they have a foundation called the Starkey Hearing Foundation. And their foundation travels around the world, and they give out free hearing aids to impoverished communities all over the world. So with Operation Change, we partnered with this family. We went around the world, not just to give out hearing aids, but to help rebuild communities that were in need. So we built schools, we brought water to communities. It was probably the most life-changing experience of my life, for sure.
Okay, cool. Now, because this show, this is one of the things that I love about it, but I don't love about it because there's so many interesting people to talk to. Like time flies, so we try to get all this stuff in. But so I want to get this in because I think this is important. NATPE.
Wait, what?
The letters NATPE.
NATPE.
Yes. Tell us about that because I read about it and I don't want to act like I don't know because I read up on it, but I'd rather you talk about it. And why is that special, important?
So last year, Kiki Melendez created the first ever, it was called the Omni Cultural TV Fest. And she partnered with NATPE on it, which was a huge success. And it was an amazing feat on her part. She put the whole partnership together. And it was a big television festival in Los Angeles that celebrated up and coming producers in all genres. So it wasn't just reality, it was scripted as well. And so I had the honor of working with her and the foundation to help put that festival together. And it was really awesome because a lot of these festivals, as you know, are television, awards and stuff. They go after a lot of times the shows that are the most popular, producers that are the most popular. And this really was a platform for everyone to submit their content and win an award for it, because there's amazing producers out there that are not not producing a television show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great. Got a quick, maybe a fun question. Why do you think people are attracted to reality shows? Because a lot of people know they're not real. Some people really do think that it's really real. Like, okay, when I was young, I used to watch wrestling. Didn't know. So but there's some people today who really still feel wrestling is real. But we know certain things are not. Well, why do you think reality shows attract folks, and why are they so popular?
I don't know, Shawn.
Are people just that nosy and they like to be in other people's business because, all of the stuff that goes on certain ones, or the fantasy of living the lives of those folks? What do you think?
Oh, God. Okay, but let me just say that I still believe that WWE is real. So please don't ruin that for me.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I want to believe that it's real.
Okay, it is.
But so there, I'm at fault. I'm like everybody else watching reality shows. I don't know why people love them so much. I guess it's the suspended belief that you're getting this exclusive inside look into, some aspect of somebody else's life that is being portrayed as being real. And a lot of times that there are aspects of it that are real, like on The Bachelor, those are real people who are being put in that real situation. And a lot of them are really there looking for love. Some of them are looking to be famous, yes, or have their, one shot in the spotlight, if you will. But the environment and the situation is very much real, and the emotions that they feel are real. But a lot of times they're heightened because they're in this like cocoon of a world, So it's like survival, if you will. But I don't know why people love it. I just know that they do, and it keeps paying me. So
you don't have to worry. You shouldn't worry about that question. You're all right.
What's the show that you watch all the time?
I really don't, but just being curious. I used to watch the Flavor Flav reality show, the Ray J show, some of the Little Housewives shows I would peek in every now and then. The Bachelor reminds me of my situation being a singer. I don't like that one too much. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna talk about that in the Love Hour.
Yeah, we can get into it, but we're gonna talk about your stuff. You ain't gonna turn this around and talk about my stuff. You kind of slick. That was good. Yeah. But no, I kind of peek in on some of them, but I know that they're scripted, and I guess it appeals to folks to be on certain levels, and it's interesting. Why we watch? I mean, a lot of TV shows, period, are not real. We watch them for the entertainment purpose. So that's cool. What are you planning on doing, if we can talk about it next. I know you
Yeah.
had another show. I think the show is still on now, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so I just finished a show for Fox called I Can See Your
I can
Voice,
see your voice. Yes.
which was basically, could you tell if somebody was a good singer without ever hearing them sing? And so the contestant would see various rounds of the secret voices, we called them, who would lip sync. They would go through different challenges, and try to leave a good singer standing in the end to win $100,000. And so that was a really fun show to do. But it's a game show, so it wasn't a reality show, if you will, and it was very real in that sense. So I just finished that. I'm pitching a show right now that I'm super excited about. That, fingers crossed, Shawn will be watching it in the year.
Yes, hopefully I'll be on it.
Yeah, so it's a show about a single dad who's raising his kids, and he's an amazing father, and he's just so inspiring. And my partner and I on that, we created a company called Media Moguls. So we're championing that show right now. Yeah, so we'll see. I would love to be on here talking to you about that show if it was out, because I think you would love it.
You've already spoken it into existence, so that means
right?
It means this show will be on another platform later on when your show comes out, and I'll be able to. Hopefully, the pandemic will have ceased. We can do some kind of normalcy, and because I have spoken to my supreme being and asked him how we're going to move this thing right here, this platform. So it's been moving pretty good. So you speak it into existence. We'll have it together. Listen,
I'm with you. I agree.
That'll be great.
That's
so what is your, because we have about 3 minutes before we take a break.
Yeah.
What is your immediate, outside of that show, like what would you like to do? What would you like to achieve in this industry? Let's not say immediately, but long term. What is your big goal to achieve in this industry with what you're doing? Because you're doing great already.
Thank you. Well, I know as hard as 2020 has been for all of us, I think the blessing in disguise that we all are really feeling is that it's forced us to kind of sit still and think about things, our lives, and what we want to do with them, and how we want to spend our time, and the people we want to spend our time with. And so something I really wanted to do that I didn't even know I wanted to do really was write a book. So I wrote my first book over the break, which it was like the easiest thing I ever did. And I don't know how it happened, Shawn. I don't know. I never considered myself that type of writer, but I sat down and the words were coming. And so, I would love to get that book out this year.
What's the name of the book? If you can,
I'm not telling you.
You're not going to tell us yet? Okay. No. Now, look, you got to promise me though. But, when you decide to do it, you can make it. We can make it an exclusive.
Let's do it.
And you can come on the show, and you can just debut it here on the show.
Let's do it. It's all about love. I will say that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's all about love. So it's perfect for you.
Well, okay, you see that title under my name.
I know. I know.
Listen, I'm not going to make you promise me, but you give me your word. This is live, and it's going to be recorded, and people are going to.
Let's do this. This is live. So let's not say if. Let's say when that book comes out, you and I will do an exclusive, and we will talk all about it. How about that?
Boy, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Makes me feel like a real talk show. Like
you are a real talk show.
Like, all right, watch out, Oprah, Steve Harvey. I'm Shawn Cornelius is coming. Well, this has been great. This first half has been fantastic. It's flown by so quickly. I'm going to take a short break. Now, we talked about love, and I heard you say things through this first part. And the second half is what my folks out there, they wait for. They love the second half of the show because this is where we get into your opinions on love, romance, intimacy, relationships. So you ready?
Let's do it.
You're not going to slip off.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, guys, well, you sit right there. We'll be right back with more Melinda Cea on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Be right back at
you. Yes, I did it. And I did it over and over and over again.
The bad part was I had to steal to get what I wanted, to satisfy my wants, my needs, and my desires.
I mean, everything seemed so good and perfect. Until...
But none of that mattered. because I wanted what I wanted when I wanted it. And what I wanted was...
I know. Stress, no sleep, overeating, over drinking, sex partner after sex partner with no protection. I mean, but I felt like you failed me at times. My confession?
My confession?
My confession is...
My confession?
Thank you for listening.
Back to the show. She is still here. She is not afraid, and I knew it.
No, I'm not afraid. And I brought my wine too.
Oh, you got your little sipper, huh? All right, cool. So here we go. I'm excited about this. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
God, I'm nervous. What are you gonna ask?
I think you're acting. You've been out in Hollywood too long. You're like, oh, okay. So here we go. These are just your opinions on these topics. All right. First question.
Oh God.
What is your definition of love, and why is it important to you?
Can I ask a question?
How are you going to ask a question? You went to school. You can't answer a question with a question.
But love is so vast. We could be talking about love, all love. Or are we talking about relationships?
Again, listen to the question. What is your definition of love? Okay. And why is it important to you? So it doesn't matter what Webster says or what anybody else says. What is your definition of love?
Okay. My definition of love is just acceptance in unconditional ways.
Okay. Why is that important to you in your life?
I think because we all need acceptance, right? We all have quirks and crazy stuff that we're going through and dealing with. And when you're talking about relationships and love, that's like the whole basis of it is unconditional love and acceptance and trust. And I think, one of the coolest things somebody ever said to me was, this is going to sound like it's going one way, but I promise you it's not. The coolest thing somebody said to me was, I was dating them and they said they were really excited to get to know me and they wanted to see me strip. And I was like, okay, we're done. Bye-bye. I'm out of here. This isn't going to work. And what they meant by that was strip down like all the insecurities and all the masks that you wear and all the facade of everything, right? Mm-hmm. That you show up into the world to be perceived as. And I thought that was really cool. Because immediately to me, that says, I want to accept you for who you are right now as a person and all the flaws that come with you and the messiness,
right.
That is life.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So basically, let's strip, but start with your insecurities. I think that's amazing.
That is. And it got you, didn't it?
It got me, yeah. That relationship didn't work, but... But that caught my attention. I never forgot it.
That's all right. Some of them are meant to be, some of them are not. All right. What is your definition of romance and why is that important to you?
Oh my God, Shawn, this might sound so weird, but I think it's so romantic when somebody fills up your gas tank or goes to the grocery store for you or cleans your place, carries something for you that's heavy, shows up, to just help you. To me, that's romantic.
That's kind of like a gentleman. Things that a gentleman would do, or someone who's showing chivalry. Old school would do things for you to make you feel like, hey, I got you. Okay,
And
That's
we
cool.
can take it to the next level with candles and flowers and bubble baths and champagne and all that good stuff.
Yeah, whatever works for you. Level
But
2.
it's like, what would really be romantic is if I showed up and all that was there, but first they said, "Can I take your trash out?" I'm like,
I think you need a butler or a maid, Melinda. That's what you're looking
maybe
for.
that's what I need.
That sounds like work, a job.
Right?
Okay. So why is that important to you then? Because I can probably know and understand it, but in your words, why is that important to you?
Because I think that stuff is real life. You know, it's not always going to be flowers and candles and bubble baths. It's going to be there's challenges, and there's doctor's appointments, or there's things to fix in the house, and stuff breaks, and that to me is when you're really doing life with somebody and they are your partner in crime and your best friend, and you know, that stuff matters because you want to be with somebody who's your best friend.
Yeah, no, that's all good. It's all wonderful. All right, so let's turn the tables then.
And now we're talking about your love life?
No, we're not going to flip it around this way.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to flip it, and I'm going to ask you about your again.
All right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how romantic is Melinda? How romantic are you?
Romantic.
Well, from 1 to 10.
A 10.
And okay, so the second part to this question is, give us an example of what makes you a 10.
Okay. Let me tell you this one time.
Why are you looking around as a person?
No, I'm just thinking of them. I'm like, oh, there's this one, there's that one, there's this one.
Okay, because you're like, oh, he's in here, or she's in here.
No, I'm just thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay. I really like to give gifts, and I like to plan things. I guess that's why I'm a producer. Right, so I planned an amazing surprise party for somebody. With all their friends and family there, and I thought that was very romantic. No, Shawn, are you not impressed with that?
No, I'm not. Yes, that's
okay.
Very romantic.
Come on.
No, because you thought about them internally, and you got all the pieces together. So that's very romantic. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your 10 example.
Yes, that would be my 10 example.
Cool. No, that is sweet. That it does count because it again. You don't have that whole story. The saying, it's the thought. It's the thought that counts.
It was the thought that counts. Oh. But I will say, I had a very romantic gesture. Probably the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay, share.
I received a text message one day that said hot or cold, and I was like, oh God, what does this mean? Definitely not hot, because I didn't want to wear a bikini. So I was like, all right, we'll go with cold. Then all of a sudden I had a plane ticket to an amazing resort in the snow where we spent an awesome weekend, and that was it. Yeah, but see? I just like the mystery of it, you know?
Right. That's very romantic. It's very romantic. Yeah. All right, let's go to this one. Name 3 things that turn you on about men. 3 things that turn you on about men.
Their energy. So somebody's demeanor, their confidence, how they speak to me and how they speak to other people, and how they treat themselves and how they treat other people.
Okay, that's cool. Now let's go to the other side of the fence. 3 things that turn you off about men.
Oh, that's easy. No, just everything. No. Oh God, I would say somebody who's not a forward thinker and a planner, because I'm a producer and I'm always planning and thinking of things to do or what we could do together. And so if somebody is not able to give that back to me, it kind of feels like an imbalance in some way. I really, if they're not outspoken and we can't have an open communication of some kind, it's a no-go. Like if I'm pulling the words out of you, we're done, because I have to do that at work all day, you know, as a producer. So it's cleanliness and hygiene. I mean, those are just the basics. We got to have that, right?
We sure do.
We gotta have the basics.
Yeah, that's cool. That works.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty.
Those are
I
good.
think for the most part,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty easygoing with men. I don't know.
All right, here's one that might be a tough one. This one might
Yeah.
be a little tough. Every time I ask this question to folks on the show,
Okay.
they kind of find it hard. All right,
All right.
just you have three things: you have respect, you have
Yeah.
honesty, and you have trust.
Oh,
Respect, honesty, and trust. You have to get rid of one of those, but your relationship will survive. Which one do you get rid of? Respect, honesty, and trust.
respect, honesty, and trust. Oh, that's a tough one because I feel like you don't have trust if you don't have respect, and you don't have honesty if you don't have trust. Oh gosh, Shawn, this is a hard one.
It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, I would have to say, trust.
Okay.
Because I feel
And
like
why?
if you got rid of trust, you would still be respectful of somebody's time, space, emotions, and give them that at least. And honesty, I feel like, comes with trust. So if you're going to be honest with me, I'm probably going to trust you, and you're probably going to trust me.
You did it like it's a math problem, which is really cool. You
Yeah.
you added, subtracted, and then kind of multiplied a little bit, divided.
You saw the brain going.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you, since you answered that one, and
Yeah.
you've been answering these very honestly and transparent, what advice would you give women today about relationships on how to do? I talk with women a lot.
Yeah.
Grew up in a household with women and dated, was married, blah 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 blah. And there's a lot of women who've been hurt. A lot of men have been hurt, but we're talking about women right now. Then you're going to give advice about what advice would you give women about getting involved and being involved today?
I would say, just because it took me a long time to learn to do this and to learn this, but I would say love yourself first and foremost, spoil yourself, learn yourself, do everything you can possibly do to know who you are and how you need to be loved, most importantly, which I think is huge. And if you're able to find a man or meet a man who is interested and willing to learn how you need to be loved, then I think that's a great place to start.
Right. Now, what advice would you give men? Because you guys always say that we have a problem. So, what advice would you give men on dating and relationships?
Let me get out my book, like the list. I would say just be honest with yourself and with other people and what it is that you want, and that again goes both ways. I think it takes us a long time when we have to get to a certain point in our life before we can be really honest with people.
Yes.
And I would say that's like the number one thing. Just be honest. If it ain't working, it ain't working.
Yeah.
And say why. Don't just like cut it off. Give people the respect of knowing. I think that's the hardest thing a lot of times for women and for men. Like I've been on the other side of it too, where I've broken up with somebody and ran, never talked to them again. And that's not nice.
Right.
No one deserves that.
Right. No, that's true. It's true. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's a fantasy.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
I'm a genie. You just was walking down Hollywood Boulevard and you tripped over my bottle.
Okay.
You kicked my bottle and out I came.
And
I said to you, Melinda, I'll give you one wish.
Ooh.
Just one. These other genies have been very, very nice and been giving 3 wishes.
Yes.
I only have one left.
Yes.
What is your wish that you like?
I would say, let me meet my angels. Is that crazy?
It depends. It all depends on who your angels are. I don't know.
Right?
Which angels might you be speaking about? Me being a genie, I'd have to ask first. Well, Madam Melinda, which angels might you be speaking of?
The angels that are among us and with us every day. I think that's a super powerful energy, and I love that. And I'm really into that type of thing. So it wouldn't be like, take me to Tahiti on a beach with so-and-so.
Even though you do have that probably fantasy somewhere since you brought it up. All right, since you
yeah.
brought it up,
Yeah.
since you brought it up,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a nice genie. I just found
Okay.
another wish in my pocket.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yes. Now it has to be about love, though.
Okay.
It has to be a wish involving love.
Yes.
Your
Okay.
wish is
So
my
I would
command.
say, all right, Genie, Shawn, the romantic funny man, Cornelius. Here's the scene I'm going to need you to make happen for me. I'm on a beach, walking in an amazing bathing suit with a rock ass hard body. And down there is a tall, dark, and handsome man that's coming my way in some way, shape, or form, and he's the love of my life.
I got you. The only thing that I would have to tell you is don't ever tell the genie's whole government name. You
Got it.
can only say romantic funny man Genie, because I got people looking for me. So you can't use the whole genie's government name. That's
All right.
fantastic.
Done.
No, that is great. That is great. Okay, you're doing pretty good with these. You're doing pretty good with these.
I can handle anything, Shawn. You throw it at me, I got it.
Yeah. All right. So let's go with the pandemic. The pandemic is causing some real serious issues. We know what's in our faces, but there's a lot of people that make breakups, and the pandemic is either making a lot of relationships better or they're breaking them down. What advice would you give folks dealing with the pandemic, as far as, because I am a very romantic individual. I love it, spirit, so I love the energy.
Yeah.
Can't be with people on a certain level. So what advice would you give folks if they're dealing?
You know what? I think that this is a huge blessing that we have, right? Because a lot of times in relationships we're at step 1, and then all of a sudden 2 days later we're at step 25 sometimes, right? Mentally or emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this is an amazing time to capitalize on actually getting to know somebody, just talking to them and spending time, with yourself, if you will, but taking the time to really sit down and talk to people and not just get caught up in the whole, like, oh, this is the first date and we're going here and we're doing this and that can all be really fun. But then, date 7, you really get to know them and you're like, ooh.
Right.
So let's get to date 7 on date 1 and keep it moving.
Right. That's very important, because it should have taught us a lot about life and about ourselves, and just live and do what you have to do, because you don't know. And sometimes we do take it for granted. We take love for granted. We take relationships for granted. So, like you said earlier, say what you want. Do what you want. Don't, sometimes we have schedules, and you got to be careful because you never know who you're going to meet.
Right.
But just like Nike, I'm not trying to steal it, but just do it.
Just do it.
Just make it happen.
Life is short. Just do it. Quit the job or get the job, or call them up or call her up, whatever it is. Tell them how you feel and keep it moving. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Listen, you've been doing really well with this.
Good. Well, thank you.
You're doing really well with this, and we're moving right along. And I got a game coming up in a few minutes because we're almost out of time. And this has been fantastic. So before we get into the game, and kind of close out in a few, we talked about some of your shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, again, where people can, first of all, where they can see some of the shows that you'd like people to check out.
You can see them on any of the streaming platforms, on Fox's streaming platform or Hulu. Flirty Dancing's on Hulu. It was the #1 show over quarantine, which was really exciting for all of us and everybody for the entire team that made it. So I would say if you're going to check one out, check that one out first. And if you want to see Operation Change, you can go to operationchange.com and you'll see all 8 episodes. And I really think people will enjoy it, be moved to tears, inspired to get up and do something small or big, whatever it is, even if it's just opening up a door for somebody, simple acts. I would say check out Operation Change second.
All right, cool.
If you're looking for love, go to Flirty Dancing first. If you want to change the world, go to Operation Change.
Sounds good. Now I have a game that I play.
Yeah.
Get you off the love seat.
Okay.
It's called Favorite Sevens,
Okay.
and all I do is call out something, and you just give me the favorite. So this probably outside of the first half, it'll be the easiest thing that you do, I think, inside this show. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Favorite food?
Broccoli.
Really? Okay.
It was the
Steamed?
first thing that came to my mind. I
How
don't
do
know.
you, how do you
Broccoli.
like it? Steamed or?
Steamed or sauteed. I don't know. Raw. Anyway, broccoli. It's good for you.
Yes, it is. Okay. Favorite song of all time?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Okay.
Love that.
Right. Favorite all time movie?
Oh God. Well, since I am a love mush, I kind of want to say The Notebook, but I'm not. And I'm going to say another movie that you probably never heard of. And it's called, the only person who probably has ever heard of this is my mom. And it's called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. And every woman should go watch this movie.
You're right. I never heard of Wild Hearts. Never Be
Can't
Broken.
be broken.
Can't Be Broken. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good one.
Favorite book you've ever read?
Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life.
All right. All right.
Have you heard of Louise Hay, Shawn?
I have not.
Okay,
I
well,
will
you
not.
have to
You know
read
what? I would not sit here and even fake it because there might have been another question behind it.
it. I know.
Oh, you have? So what about the? Yeah, my bad. I forgot. No, I haven't.
No,
So,
Louise Hay. Yeah.
all right. Favorite vacation spot or getaway spot?
Probably Italy. Love Italy. I could live in Italy. I could live and die in Italy.
All right. All right. That's
Positano, that's it.
all right. All right. That's not bad. Okay, that's good. You're good.
Not bad. Where else besides Italy?
I've never been to Italy, and I know about it, but I've never been. So the experience, I'm sure, is lovely, but
Yeah.
I've never been. So the closest I've gone is Three Boys from Italy, right around the corner, the pizza shop, and that's what
I
the
know
name
what
is.
that is.
Yeah, it really is Three Boys. Yeah, it's the best pizza here in the Bronx. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Michael DiGiorgio about that one.
yeah, he'll probably go against what I just said,
Yeah.
but they're the best to me. So it's fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Favorite all time. Now might be kind of hard for you because you actually produce and create shows. Your favorite all time TV show.
Oh gosh.
Mm.
Favorite all-time TV show, unscripted or scripted?
Just
I'm gonna
favorite all
say Oprah. Anything with Oprah.
You know why
After
I'm
the
laughing?
song with that.
Because I'm sorry, this might sound pretty bad, but I joke with women about this. But when you ask a dude a question, they just give
Yeah.
you the answer. But when you ask a woman a question, like I just said, favorite TV show. Like I said, please, baby, could you go get me some wheat bread? You want Wonder Bread? You want the you want the slice with the butter? No? Just get me some wheat bread. I don't care. So
Doesn't
it's
Oprah have a TV show? She has a TV network.
a network now. But so you're talking about her talk show?
Her talk show. That was probably my favorite show of all time.
No, I'm sorry. That was internally funny to me because I always say this to women, like, I didn't, just answer the question. So it's good.
I do
Okay.
know. I actually, yeah. Okay, never mind.
No, go ahead. You can expand on it.
I was thinking another favorite movie is The Best Man. If
Oh, you like that?
if
Yeah, I
you knew
know
about
that.
it. That's a good one too. Yeah.
You want to know mine really quickly? This is not about me, but
No, I would love to turn the tables and make it about you,
yeah,
Shawn.
'cause you actually do this. So my favorite all-time movie, have you heard of it? Brian Song.
No, I haven't heard of it.
With
Now I
D.
have to
Williams and James Caan. It was a story about Gail Sayers and Brian Piccolo, football
Okay.
player, Chicago Bears. Brian Piccolo had cancer, and Gail
Yes,
Sayers.
I do know this actually.
So
Okay.
that's I cry every time. It's a great story. It's about race relations and things.
Yeah.
Like, great movie. That's my all-time favorite. All right, I got
Okay.
one more for you.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And then I want to know what your genie in a bottle question would be.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And,
yeah, that's hot for TV right now.
okay.
But
Well, I agree. I was trying to keep mine,
I would tell you though. I would tell you. Okay, last one. Favorite time of the day for lovemaking?
4:00 in the afternoon.
You have a time?
That for you.
You have a specific
You
time.
asked the question, I gave you an exact answer. That is pretty good, Shawn.
That one was, you heard it. That was fantastic. 4:00 in the
4:00
afternoon.
in the afternoon is it. That's when it's
Now,
on.
wait, Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time?
Well, since I live in California, we're gonna have to say Pacific, right?
Oh, so yeah, it would be 7 here.
Yeah, so it's not gonna work in the East Coast.
I got you. All right. Well, listen.
Anywhere in the world when it's 4:00 in the afternoon.
That's the time.
Yeah.
Well, with answer that question, Melinda, you are now off the Romantic Funny Man's love seat. You have been a fantastic, wonderful guest. I thank you so much for coming through, hanging out. Before we go, please tell the people where they can follow you and give them one more message to go by.
You can follow me on Instagram at Melinda Cea, on Facebook, Melinda Cea. And yeah, I hope to be on here next year talking about a book that women will read and laugh just into tears reading. Laugh, cry, change their lives.
And your message for as you leave the show for the people.
My message for everybody would be to just be still. Be still and listen, because all the answers you ever need are there.
That's awesome. As we don't do that a lot. We don't do that a lot. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely do it again when that book comes loose.
I can't wait.
It'll be awesome. So you're welcome back anytime you want to.
John.
All right. So, guys, I want to thank you guys on Facebook for tuning in and supporting. Please support Melinda's shows. What was the one about the voice?
I Can See Your Voice on Fox. Stand by for a season 2 announcement. We just finished season 1.
And continue to thank you so much for continuing to support this show. Once again, we're on BronxNet TV. This has been awesome. So I'm so happy that we're able to do this. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And please, folks, I don't care what you think about what's going on, but be safe. If you're not going to be safe for yourself, be safe for me. Be safe for Melinda. You might walk past us, and I want you to have a mask on when you walk past me. So you know something's going on. Take care of yourself. So from Lula Mae and Cornelius's baby boy, this is Shawn Cornelius saying good night to you. God bless. Catch you around the corner on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Peace out. Love you, Linda. Thanks.